The dimly lit library was shrouded in an unsettling silence, the only sound being the soft creaking of old wooden shelves and the distant hum of a lone fly. Dust motes danced in the faint moonlight that seeped through the grimy windows, casting an otherworldly glow on the stacks of ancient tomes. The air was heavy with the scent of decay and forgotten knowledge. As Emily, the librarian, wandered the aisles, her footsteps echoed through the stillness, making her feel like she was being watched by unseen eyes. She had always been drawn to the library's more obscure sections, where the books seemed to whisper secrets to each other in hushed tones. Tonight was no exception, and she found herself drawn to a section she had never seen before, a labyrinth of shelves that seemed to stretch on forever. The books in this section seemed to be old, but not ancient, their covers were unmarked and uncreased, as if they had just been printed. Yet, as Emily reached out to touch one, a shiver ran down her spine. There was something off about these books. A feeling that they were waiting for her, watching her. As she delved deeper into the section, Emily began to notice something strange. The books seemed to be arranged in a specific order. At first, it was just a hunch, but as she followed the sequence, she realized that each book was connected to the one before it. A story within a story, unfolding before her eyes. And then, it hit her, she was reading them out of order. She tried to shake off the feeling of unease, telling herself she was just being paranoid. But the books seemed to be calling to her, whispering secrets in her ear. Emily couldn't resist the urge to keep reading, and as she turned the pages, she felt a creeping sense of dread. The words on the page seemed to shift and writhe, like living things. The fly buzzed louder, and Emily felt a cold breeze sweep through the library, extinguishing the faint moonlight. The shadows deepened, and she was plunged into darkness. When her eyes adjusted, she saw that she was no longer alone. A figure stood in the aisle beside her, watching her with cold, dead eyes. Emily tried to scream, but her voice was frozen in her throat. The figure didn't move, didn't react. It simply kept watching her, as if waiting for her to make the next move. She tried to back away, but her feet felt rooted to the spot. And then, the figure vanished. The library was quiet once more, the only sound the soft creaking of the shelves. Emily's heart pounded in her chest as she frantically searched for the figure. But it was gone, leaving her with only the unsettling feeling that she was being watched. She stumbled backward, tripping over her own feet as she desperately tried to escape. The books seemed to close in around her, their pages whispering a haunting melody. Emily knew she had to get out, to escape the clutches of the library. But it was too late. The books began to writhe and twist on the shelves, their covers flapping open like wings. Emily felt a dark presence closing in around her, suffocating her. She was drowning in a sea of paper and ink, and she couldn't breathe. As the darkness consumed her, Emily saw the figure standing before her once more. Its eyes were black holes, sucking in all the light around it. And then, it spoke in a voice that was not its own. "You have read the final chapter," it said. Emily's screams were drowned out by the sound of her own voice, reading the words on the final page. The words were her own, written in a handwriting that wasn't hers. And as she finished reading, the library vanished, leaving her in a world where the only book was the one that was written on her skin, the one that told the story of her own death.